Going off without a hitch once again. The intro to the Ice Cream Sunday Social. I am one of your hosts, Full Custom Hot Dog.
I am one of your other hosts, Yucky Gum.
And I'm Gable Pennyshot.
We made it.
I guess a third host, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you're the third host, but not the least. The last but not the least host. How's that grab you?
As long as I'm in the middle.
So we've been promising people all month that we were going to review all 3 Black Christmas movies, whether you wanted it or not.
No, they've been asking for it. I know they have.
Yeah, I keep getting emails to our Ice Cream Sunday Social at gmail.net account about why aren't you guys talking about Black Christmas already? It's Christmas time, and so we're doing it. We're getting it out of the way.
I'm pretty sure those were from Gable, though. I think Gable really wanted to.
Listen, only half of them were from me.
Does anybody even like these movies?
I mean, I always hear the original one. People are like, "Hey, that's a proto slasher."
Yep.
Yeah,
It was
That's
the
a
first, like,
that's the
real
only thing
American
people have to
slasher.
say about it.
Well,
I mean,
I got more to say.
It's a proto slasher, so it's a good movie because it's the first movie.
Well, they just want to be like, it was the first, everyone's like, Halloween
cares?
created the sensation of the holiday themed.
Yeah, but people have way more to say about Halloween.
Do
That's
they
the
really?
difference.
Do they really?
Yes, 1,000 times yes. Are you serious?
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Most
it's not
people
really
don't
a
even.
contest.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
No, but I'm saying my confusion is that whenever I hear people address Black Christmas, it's never outside of the context of proto slasher, which to me means that maybe it didn't cause too big of a wave in horror. While when people talk about the original Halloween, it's very quotable. People always talk about Donald Pleasance and how much they love him. There's a lot more to say about Halloween than there is about Black Christmas.
That's insane.
It's
You
true.
don't get
I'm
to
not
add
wrong.
claps for yourself.
I didn't. They clap on their own. It's the AI clap generator.
I mean, I've never met anybody that doesn't know this movie. Like, this is a really popular horror movie. Like, the first 1974 one is super popular. Everybody loves it.
I never hear anyone say anything about it besides what I said.
I mean, what do they talk about? Like the Market Kidder phone scene.
Yeah,
Like-
what do you hear, Yucky?
It's
What do
the
you hear on the
crazy,
streets?
okay, like, if anybody in the audience doesn't know, this was like one of the, I don't know, I don't want to say it's one of the first movies, but there's
Proto,
like
you
a
could say.
whatever, a prank caller, right? And it's all like the
Yeah.
weird stuff. I would even say the in the Dark Knight, when there's the video of the Joker, like, to me that is one of the things that Black Christmas inspired. The idea of having this really, like, close-up conversation with a crazy person, or not conversation, but audio of a crazy person being like, look it, or whatever.
I will say that the actual conversation on the phone is actually kind of creepy, right? As it
Yeah,
progresses,
it's pretty effective.
like that's I would say that's like really, I guess maybe the creepiest part about the whole thing. As he talks about Agnes and all this other stuff, you're just like, what's all this about?
But then there's all the other voices too.
yeah, it's like,
that
oh,
make
is
it
it
extra
schizo? Like,
creepy.
what is
Yeah. Is this the phone off the hook at someone's house?
he? Yeah, which again, like Yucky said, has been done a few times. I don't know which came first.
Yeah, I was gonna look up when was When a Stranger Calls.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, they're both based on the whole, the killers inside the house thing.
The call is coming from inside the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, you take that, like, urban legend or whatever. And
Except this one, it plays it out like really long, where the guy is like, there's like a really long extended scene where he's like chasing the line and the phone the phone company. He's
I've
like,
always
you gotta
liked
keep
that.
him on longer. And it's just like him for 3 minutes just
that's
running
just
up and
not
down
long
hallways.
enough.
The Stranger Calls was 79, by the way, so that's 5 years later.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So maybe Black
that-
Christmas did everything first.
Dude, and that movie's only good. Only that first, like, 10-minute segment is good. The rest of that movie's a snooze fest.
Even worse is the remake of When a Stranger Calls, which is even a snoozier fest. That movie's just
It falls through the
ambient.
very beginning.
See,
oh,
and I
it's
think
insane.
this is why Gable wanted to talk about this movie, because I would say the same thing for the 06 version of this movie.
Oh,
There's-
they're insane.
That's not at all correct, Yucky.
That's
I will say this watch through gave me a little more appreciation because I mean I was stoked. This is one of those remakes.
It's gonna grow
Like
on
I
it.
hadn't learned yet, right? Like what other remakes had come out by '06?
Dude, I mean, we got
Was
some,
it like
right?
Texas
We
Chainsaw
got
Massacre?
Willard.
Yeah, Willard, that same director as
Yep.
this one. I want to say, what was the other one?
Hey, we got Phantasmagorical in the chat. Hey, Phanta.
Hey,
Hi,
Phantom.
Fana. I'm trying to think of what the other remakes we got. Where I know we had a
I mean-
few. I want to say
I mean-
Bloody Valentine. Did we get that as well around that time?
I mean, definitely. I'm just not sure.
Plus or minus
The
5
order.
years.
2009 was Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, plus or minus.
Yeah, that was definitely the time of the remake. And I mean, some of these remakes are so hit and miss, right? But I was stoked
Yeah.
about Black Christmas because I'm like, this is a classic, and like the audience isn't ready. And I was
They definitely
sitting
weren't
in the
ready.
theater. Oh my god, I was just like, oh no, really?
Dead Puck
This is
brings
what you-
up The Hills Have Eyes in the Fog.
Nope, there
for
you go.
sure. And I think it's because you know how you guys were saying like if you listen to the phone conversations that of the obscene phone calls of the first one, you can kind of start to piece together, I don't know, an idea of of what's going on, right?
Yeah, which they fully explored in the 06 version. I agree.
Yeah, which is to me its fault.
I think
that's
You think that's a bad thing?
that is
Okay.
because I would say if the 70s had I'm not going to say it's like the predominant genre of horror in the 70s, but I would say one of the predominant genres of horror in the 70s. No, I don't, it's hard to even say genre, but it's the motiveless killer, right? It's the idea that you and your family go on a vacation and mutants attack you. You're just sitting at home and there's a guy in your attic. You know what I mean? Like completely
Yeah.
motiveless kills or completely motiveless psychos. So Xmas, Black Christmas 06 is like, oh man, you guys like completely screwed up the whole like motiveless killer and
Yeah, but then you have the brother daughter angle. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
you get a
Some might
second
say.
killer, a twofer.
Yeah.
oh, but that's I don't know.
Which
That
is-
weak to me.
What's funny about the 06 version is Weinstein was actually the one who added Agnes as the second killer. The director did not want it.
Oh, he was a genius then.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it just because it's crazy. Front to back, that movie's just insane, off the
It's
rails.
insane.
It at least takes. And here's the thing: like I know I shit on Black Christmas, the original, a lot,
Oh,
but I never mean to say that it's a bad movie because I don't think it's bad.
No,
It's
it's
not a bad movie. That's never the point I'm trying to get across whenever I talk about Black Christmas. I just feel like compared to movies that have been made since then, it's just very much a straight up slasher. And so compared to the remake, that's just balls to the walls, like, hey, we're just gonna go ham, fuck it, who cares?
It's the product of its time too. That
Yeah.
extreme horror kind of period there, where it's like, oh yeah, now they're eating eyeballs and making cookies out of skin. And
Which okay, the cookie. So Billy the Killer, for those of you who haven't seen it,
spoilers.
yeah, Billy's making cookies out of people's skin, which to me, I
mean,
think that's a bit more like beef jerky.
but it only happens in one scene.
Yeah, but he's known for that. That's
And it's
what
He does
bad
weird.
talks
He does
about.
really crazy shit for the rest.
I
of the
mean,
film,
I would
too.
say the ending of the first one is also balls to the wall crazy, and it doesn't
Why?
have a second killer, but it has a I mean, it's kind of a red herring for the audience, but at the same time, kind of not. It's more like the boy, because okay, if anybody hasn't seen these yet, the first Black Christmas is about basically a main character named Jess who finds out she's pregnant and she's going to have an abortion, and her boyfriend is a concert pianist. And this chick chose to tell him, like, the day of his. Not only does she tell him she's pregnant, she tells him she's going to abort it the day before he has his like big college recital.
Yeah, like
Right?
I know this is a big day in your life and career, but
But
I'm gonna go
here's
ahead
a-
and fuck that up for you.
your potential child is now going to be dead soon. So
Yeah, So
Good
first
luck.
fucked up thing, dude. For a Christmas movie, you want to talk about like a subversive story, like having an abortion story for a Christmas movie for
Yeah,
Christmas.
very progressive.
That's pretty nuts. That's like yikes. Like we're gonna talk about this?
Also, the actress there, terrible. Who I forget who she is,
Oh,
but
what are you
she was
talking
not
about?
good.
Really? She's the like I don't know if back in your guys' high school you had to watch the old Romeo and Juliet from the 70s.
I think we did.
I vaguely
we
remember her. Yeah,
She was Juliet.
Yeah.
It's like the only role I know her from is Juliet and Black Christmas. She's
She
a
was-
great actress.
It's
She
kind of
was
crazy. Like I'm taking a look at this, and Yucky had brought up Death Dream earlier, also directed by Bob Clark with effects from Tom Savini. But I think Death Dream is just, and again, I'm not saying Black Christmas is bad, but Death Dream is just such an interesting and crazy movie. Came out the same year, a few months earlier than this. And it's just kind of wacky that, like, again, I mean, I know, again, product of its time, right? But
yeah.
it's just not interesting to me.
I mean,
This Black Christmas movie.
I
Yes,
love
Dead
it
Punk.
because I mean, the movie just starts off with like a dude crawling into the attic, right? He scales the wall and crawls into the attic, and then the girls start getting obscene phone calls. And at first it doesn't really do anything to them because they've been having obscene phone calls, right? They
Yeah.
just think
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's that guy again, right?
It's a frat boy or something, or something weird. Somebody weird.
Dead Punk Gage says Olivia Hussey. Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
that's her
it.
name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what really throws me off almost every single time I watch Black Christmas is how much of like a National Lampoon's it feels like. Doesn't it
Yeah.
feel like a National Lampoon's type movie with the type of like schlubby college guys?
Yeah, at times.
The type of jokes around children of like drinking and
Oh, with the guy dressed up as Santa Claus with the kid on his lap.
yeah. And there's
Yeah.
that scene where like when the first girl goes missing, the father comes looking and the what do you call like a sorority mother? Is that just what you call it?
House mother.
She's like a house mommy.
House mother. Like she has to like put her hand over the like the nude poster of the hippie free love thing.
Yep.
And she keeps like I really like it when she like asks for a ride and then the dude keeps catching her doing weird shit or yelling or drinking or whatever and she's like I really appreciate the ride. Like she just turns into an old granny in front of him.
Maybe that's why like the original Black Christmas, while I enjoy it, I think it's a good product of its time. Like it's so inconsistent when it comes to like what kind of genre it wants to be, because it does sort of like swerve in and out of various genres. Like when we're in the POVs with the killer and all that stuff, it is genuinely creepy. Like Bob Clark did a great job.
Oh, there's some great camera
Yeah.
work in it.
There's some really like
Yeah.
good stuff in there when it comes from the horror element, and then it transitioned to like that National Lampoon or some sort of frat sorority kind of movie, and you got like all the girls being dirty and stuff like that. But then you go into like the drama aspect with the abortions, and then you kind of toggle back and forth in between those until like the last 30 some odd minutes when it goes straight back into horror. And
Well,
I don't know,
yeah.
it's disjointing to me.
From what I was reading, that was all Bob Clark. So they had the original script, and he kind of wanted to do something that was a bit closer to maybe what college-age people would do or talk about. And I think that's where the abortion subplot thing kind of comes from.
I guess I don't know.
I mean, I think the
Didn't work.
abortion, it's all about, because it's like, once again, we're talking about a motiveless killer, right?
Yeah.
But this boyfriend is set up as a dude with a motive for the cops. The cops are only looking at motive. So it's like, who's this guy? You had an argument with this boyfriend earlier. He's creeping around the house. He's we don't know. I mean, I guess it could be a red herring to the audience over if he's so attached to his baby and there's obscene phone calls about like, what did you do to the baby, Billy? And stuff like that. It's like, okay, this could be this dude having a mental breakdown. Even though we see a dude like crawling into the window like at the get-go. So it kind of does confuse the audience of what and when you're seeing it.
Well, that theme just parallels with the abortion, right? I mean, Billy always talks about, where's Agnes? she's my family now, and all this whatever this weird babble that he says into the phone, and then you juxtapose it next to Olivia Hussey's character, who actually does want to kill the child, right? Where Billy is trying to find Agnes. I don't know. I always thought that was like an interesting parallel there, but I don't know if they really do much with it other than it just being said.
Yeah, it's just kind of there. It's just a parallel, which that's fine to me. Like there doesn't need to be like a big like, because I mean, yeah, as far as we know, we don't really know. All we know is that there's a character named Billy, a character named Agnes. So there's like a grandmother voice saying like tell your mother what you did with the baby or something. So obviously Billy did something with the baby, but then Billy also says, don't tell what we did. That's why it's like, okay, so did Billy molest his baby sister and then murdered her to keep it silent? And the parents just never found out what happened, and, you know, who knows? Billy got sent off to a mental institution or some crap, right?
Yeah, which sets up 06.
Kind of crazy they didn't just play that up as like a sequel or something. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you do, right?
because
Like,
you could do that. I mean, you just say that they caught him and he's in the mental hospital and he escapes and goes back to the house. And there you go. There's 06.
Maybe that'll be the next Black Christmas remake. Will be a requel.
One can only hope.
Yeah,
They
down
never
for it.
show Billy though, right? Like you don't ever really get to see him.
no, you see like
No.
his
I don't-
eyeball.
I want to see him.
Definitely a lot of eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Maybe
see
that's one of the marks I have against it is I appreciate cool looking killers and cool weapons. And I didn't feel like Billy brings either to the table until 06, where he's just got jaundice.
Mm.
Well, I think the suspense of the original one is basically when a girl says like, I'm gonna go upstairs. That's when like, oh shit. Like, you know, she's
Billy's
gonna be
gonna get her.
missing or he's gonna get her. Like as soon as they go upstairs, you know, it's just a matter of time before Billy's gonna like creep down and do something, right?
Yeah.
Which is nice because at the end of the movie, when the last two characters, we know that they're dead, but then the cop tells the main character like don't try to wake up your friend, like just get
get
out
out
the
there.
door. And it's like,
Leave.
what would you do? Are you gonna leave your friends up there
Yes.
possibly to get
Yes.
murdered?
100%. I'm leaving.
God.
You should too.
These
Bye.
guys
Yep.
are not
Yell
part
it
of
as
the
I run out the
sisterhood.
door.
Yeah. Goodbye. See ya.
There's a killer in the house. Get
He
out.
could be with you. Leave.
Yeah. He could be watching you right now, guy. Get out of there.
And what really makes the original one so crazy to me is at the end of the movie, like the cops leave the main girl to die. Like the main girl dies at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they arrest the boyfriend. All the motive is there. They even caught him like when Billy or whoever was actually attacking her, she goes down to the basement and the boyfriend like is looking for her and knows she went down there and breaks in. So the cops are like, we got you red-handed. She obviously had some like tussle because I mean, she thinks it's him for some reason, even though I don't think she ever turned around and saw him.
The perfect
then-
crime.
Yeah, it is really.
But
So
by
they take him
coincidence,
away,
though.
and some like doctor is like, we medicated her, like we're not going to be able to talk to her until tomorrow. She's going to be out for at least 4 hours, and then the very first girl or the very first victim, her father he goes into shock or something, and everybody's like, let's hurry up and get him to the hospital, and like the whole house clears out. And they turn out all the lights, and there's like one cop on duty, and we see Billy is still upstairs, so we know it's definitely not Peter. It's not the boyfriend.
Yep.
And we have a nice like dude, just the image of the girl with the plastic over her face is such a really horrific image for a horror movie.
Yeah. Solid.
Solid. And then you back up out of the house and the phone starts ringing. And John Saxon, the superhero of horror movies,
I love him.
John Saxon makes a comment about how the murderer made a call after each murder. So when we pull back and the phone is ringing, that means Billy killed her at the end,
Yeah.
and no one's gonna know for like hours. And Billy's gonna be gone. I love movies that don't really tell you what happened, but they give you enough
The ambiguity.
There. Yeah.
So, since you're a big fan of the original Black Christmas, do you believe that they should make another movie like taking place 40 years later called Old Man Billy?
Oh,
No,
good question.
it's got to be called Blackest Christmas or something.
Blacker Christmas.
Oh, don't give them any ideas, guys. You at least sell them to them.
I mean, I think you would just call it Black Christmas again, right?
After
Okay.
after 2019, let's give them all the ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need some.
Yeah, the only reason we're not talking about that is it's so divorced from the other two and an actual remake that's going to be a whole nother conversation towards the end of the stream.
Man, I don't know. I feel like you already let the genie out of the bottle, and whenever I watch a movie, no matter how bad, right? I frequently go like, "Oh, somebody likes this movie somewhere. Like, this is somebody's favorite movie. This piece of shit." But Black Christmas is one of the very few movies that I watched, and I went, "I don't know who likes this movie on purpose. There is no way somebody likes this. I don't believe it's possible." No, I don't even think they like it.
Well, some
I don't
movie
think
reviewers-
anybody likes it.
Some movie reviewers gave it a perfect rating. By the way,
I would
Oh,
bet
yeah.
$200 that they've never watched it again. They love it. That they love it so much they've never thought about that movie since then.
Guys, I
I've
barely
seen-
made it through one time watching it.
Dude, it's
I
rough.
wanted to turn that shit off multiple times.
I have not seen anybody tweet about it either. I've seen tweets about both other Black Christmases,
Yep.
but not this one at all. Like, you cannot tell me that
I mean-
people actually like that movie.
Because it's like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode. It's not really Black Christmas.
It is. But
Insane.
I don't know. I never cared for Buffy, but I want to say it's worse than a Buffy the
It's
Vampire.
worse, yeah. Are we going straight to 2019? Or are we just
Yeah,
bypassing
it's just-
2006?
No, I think we should loop back around to
You started it,
06.
Yucky.
No, I
Yeah.
just wanted to, I don't know, say something. Just
So they
wanted-
remade Black Christmas.
Oh, and I was so excited, guys. I even rushed out. I think it released on Thanksgiving.
I don't
I
remember.
remember
that.
finishing Thanksgiving dinner and like grabbing my my cousin and being like, "Black Christmas, like we gotta go see this like right now."
I remember wanting to see 2019 only because I had my movie pass at the time and I was just seeing everything. Like I didn't even care.
No,
If it
I'm
was
not
on
talking
my
about
radar,
2019.
Yucky's talking about the old 2006
Oh, God.
film
I'm
when
talking
he
about
was
2006.
when he
I
was
did not
40,
rush out.
40 years young. Yucky's an old man.
Have you seen the poster for this? Like, I mean, it's all there.
I remember the trailer because there's actually scenes in the 2006 Black Xmas that actually were shot only for the trailer and aren't in the film at all. Like one was that ice machine, that one woman getting sucked into the ice machine. That's definitely not in the remake at all. And there's actually a character who was in half of the trailer who's just unique to the trailer. And the
it's
reason
an
why,
extended universe.
yeah, well, the reason why is because I guess Weinstein told the directors like, "Hey, we're gonna go shoot some beef stock or whatever for the trailer, like light bulbs and shit." And he goes, "Yeah, go for it." But apparently, they actually hired an actress to to act out different scenes and murders. They actually got Michelle Trachtenberg's character back. To do like some weird thing with like a shotgun saying like "Merry Christmas, motherfucker," or something like that. That was in
I remember the Christmas lights one where some girl's wrapped in Christmas lights and then gets pulled off screen, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
like all these things were specifically shot just for the trailer, and then I guess that's what really caused the bad blood with the director guy because he did an interview in one of those 50 horror director interview books, and he was one of the guys, and he was talking about how Weinstein fucked him over.
He fucked me.
He's like, "It's not the film that I wanted to make." They added all the slapstick and all the gore and all that kind of stuff.
So why do you guys like the origin of Billy and Agnes? Like, why do you guys like?
I
it
don't
all
hate
spelled
it.
out?
I just don't. It didn't bother me. I don't know. I didn't. It wasn't a standout for me, but I was like, oh, okay.
Do you
You
think
know
it
how
was
you
changed in editing? Because it's kind of strange how it really is like almost the first hour of the movie is just these girls sitting around in the living room, and we have backflashes to Billy's past.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's so
That's
strange
pretty odd.
about the Xmas '06 is that like what Billy did is like known to the sorority house. There's like a tradition where the sorority girls
yeah.
leave a present for Billy and everything, where it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Once again, like the mystery automatically to me is a little taken out because it's like the girls know everything. So if someone starts killing people, they're like, Billy.
But I kind of like that though, because I don't know, having another red herring in this, I feel like would have just been kind of tedious.
True.
I mean,
Like
but
we're so I don't want to think it's that one boyfriend who's kind of a scumbag. Like it's okay. Just be a horror movie. Don't have to
that's
give
what's
me some stupid twist that's not even a twist, you know? You see it coming a mile away anyway.
I mean, that's kind of what's weird about the '06 version to me is the characters have these questions, but the audience knows everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like there was because it still has like it's the boyfriend. He's breaking in to delete like a porno video he made with one of the other sorority sisters, actually the first victim. And so for a question for just like a minute, it's like, what are you doing in her room? What are you doing here? But like the audience already knows. So yeah, it's not even a red herring at all.
Yeah, just set up for potentially more victims, right? That's all. I mean, it's all it really is. What I like about the '06 remake is, you know, how you were mentioning, like in the original film, there's definitely a style that the film has, like a POV style, like all that stuff was just it's creepily shot, right? There's a specific style to the horror scenes. I think the '06 version, like it has a style, like this extreme style that was very, you know, dominating and for that 10-year span with all the bigger budgeted horror films. That is very appealing to me. Then I look at the 2019 film and then realize all that style gone.
I will say of the '06 version that I thought it did a really good job at creating like what do I want to say? Claustrophobic atmosphere, right? Like it's
Oh
like
yeah,
a
because
blizzard.
Billy and Agnes are gremlins that just keep crawling through the walls.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, like even when they run outside to a car or something like that, like it seems like there's like a blizzard going on. So, you know, it really feels like they're stuck in the house. It's not like the original one takes place over I want to say 2 days, right? But this one is, I mean, it's all one night basically. That's why they got to do the backflashes. They got to do, you know, because I mean, they're basically stuck at the house. There's no like running to the like campus security that there is in the other ones.
See, I thought the '06 movie was also progressive when they portrayed the killer as someone with a disability. I didn't expect it to be yellow skinned, but you know what? It's
Yellow-skinned.
fun.
Jaundice or the girl with the missing eye?
But yeah, both. I'm telling you, it's very progressive.
Well, the missing eye. I mean, she wasn't
be
missing
fair,
an eye
Billy
until
did it.
Billy poked it out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
but
is-
she still didn't have an eye.
See,
They
that's
both.
that's what's confusing to me is I don't get the relationship, like, because in the backflashes we see like Billy's mom just hates him because he's a yellow skin, right?
Yeah.
And
All right.
she's super mean to him, but then
Yeah.
she molests him.
Yeah,
Like her
she thinks he's
husband
sexy.
is too.
Well, no, she was trying to get some from Drunk Guy. Drunk Guy couldn't perform, so then she was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go upstairs to the kid that we lock away in the attic, and have my way with him," which created a Wincest baby. named
Like he
Agnes.
even hates her. That's why I'm like, whatever. She's drunk. Her like hillbilly husband's drunk. She molests her kid. But like the fact that he would, it's set up before that he like growls at her, doesn't he? Like all feral.
Well, I mean, feral. I mean, I assume even feral things want to fuck, right? So
It's kind of crazy that they didn't make one of the sorority sisters Agnes.
well, that's
Well,
I thought they were
they
going to do
s-
with the girl with the glasses or whatever.
Yeah, they that is like a red herring that they
Yeah.
try to set up like this. this one nerdy girl as as Agnes.
She's so weird and quirky.
So Billy, so whatever, they have a little incest baby that has like weird face wrinkles for some reason.
Yeah,
That's her disability, face wrinkles.
which I thought it was like a makeup appliance, but apparently like the actress back then actually sort of looked like that. It was probably
I mean, they definitely darkened it in with
yeah. I
shadow
think they made it more
because
pronounced.
something. So like Billy's just like she's like, oh, this is she locks Billy. The mom locks Billy up in the attic, and she's like, well, Agnes is my new baby now. Like, forget the old kid.
Yeah,
So
she's got
Billy
the family
hates
now.
Agnes. Like Billy hates Agnes, and he pokes her eye out or something, and then he's caught. But
Yep.
then at the end of the movie, they're family, and like they're a family reuniting for Christmas or something.
I do kind of
I don't
wish
get
they
it.
would have fought.
That would have been actually.
I'm sorry, you said fought, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish they would have threw down. You know.
Agnes
Well,
and
if
Billy.
there was any more incest, it would be like the other movie we watched.
But it's also
Barbarian.
kind of crazy that Agnes is just comically large.
And old looking.
Yeah, like China basically.
Like Billy's
China the
her
wrestler.
father, but she looks like 20 years older. Maybe she's a smoker.
The guy, the person who played Agnes is a guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and apparently
That did not
he's
fool me.
actually like a camera like focus puller or something in real life. And it's like,
Yeah.
hey, do you want to play like a woman in our movie? Sadly, I don't think he did much in life after that.
I did like that there was a nerdy girl in the first one named Phyllis who returns as the sorority mother in 06. I did like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
What I couldn't tell, this also has like I think it's an older sister of the first victim. So instead of the father looking for the missing daughter in this one, I think it's an older sister looking for the first victim. I couldn't tell
Definitely
if she
an older
was
looking sister.
she looked older. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, is this an original cast member from the first one?
I don't remember. Yeah,
I couldn't tell.
but she was like noticeably older though. Because I'm going, and then they had that little dialogue that was like, "Oh yeah, I was like 13 when she was born." You're like, "All right, you don't need to go that much into it, you know. We understand you're old."
Yeah. And I don't know. In 06, I didn't get a lot of the characters out of the girl or whatever. Oh, that's the Phyllis, Andrea Martin.
So Dead
Yeah.
Punk is saying that was actually part of the script was to make Eve into Agnes, but it became part of the whole Weinstein changes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh, this is a mess with film.
I'm kind of okay with that though, because I feel like
I thought they made it better, to be honest.
yeah, I think just having this crazy other jaundiced person that's just huge, and also like this bulky figures just rampaging through the walls of this old house. That's
kinda
just that's insane.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I like it. Thank you.
What do you guys think about like the extreme gore? Like there was like definitely like an eyeball fetish thing going on here, like a
That's
gruesome
weird.
eyeball fetish.
That's one of those
Pretty
things
wild.
where like one of the I mean greatest scenes in horror history is when the main character, the first one, goes up to Margot Kidder's room, and Billy's there, and he goes, "Agnes, it's me, Billy," and he's just looking through a crack in the door with his eye.
Yep.
So this movie, like, I'm just assuming they took that one shot, that one classic shot of the eyeball, and this whole movie's like eyeballs, eyeballs, eyeballs. There's a Christmas tree decorated with eyeballs.
Well,
I mean, it's
they-
easy gross to do too. Is
Yeah.
eyeball stuff, right?
Well, they set it up too, right? So like when Billy ripped out Agnes's eyeball, and then later on, he reveals that the killer is actually not Billy, that it's Agnes. When she gets that thing like shoved into her eye, and it's a fake eyeball. You're like, oh shit! They call back to it. That's amazing.
It's a fake eyeball.
You're like, oh, it all makes sense. Also, I'm kind of curious how she got a fake eyeball, like since she seemed like she lived ferally, like with.
Because it's like, where was she? We know Billy is in a mental institution, and he escaped.
Where was she? Yeah.
yeah. Where
So
was she?
we don't really know what the hell Agnes has been doing,
Maybe she was just hanging out on the walls.
making the phone calls.
Or maybe she was the one making the phone calls.
Yeah, this movie really
True.
does get rid of the whole like phone call like Because I mean, everybody's got cell phones, so it's just like Julie's calling. Like, there's no way to be like, they're in the house.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they didn't really do that though. So
Yeah, they really. I mean, they just.
they're like,
couldn't.
yeah, I can't. Don't worry about it. Just unleash hell. The final act will just be a bunch of crazy shit going on.
Yeah, I did like the gore in this. It was relatively brutal. I will say that.
Yeah, I think the '06 film is actually better than a lot of people. I don't know, take it for.
A lot of people are ready to dunk on it, and I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I mean, obviously, I'm just a
cast.
fan. Why? What's wrong
Like,
with them? What's wrong with the
main
cast?
girl- I don't know. I just don't like them. The main girl is the girl from Arrow.
Yeah, she's all right. I mean,
You got
I mean, she's a blonde
Michelle
hottie. She's fine.
Trachtenberger.
Hey, when
whatever
she
her
was
name is.
skinny, Michelle Trachtenberg. Hey, that's nothing wrong
what
with
is
that.
she? Is she thick now?
We're
She's
just all
very thick.
TV actors. I don't know.
I mean, you
Well, she
get
was in
Mary
Buffy.
Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
who is actually
Scott
the only
Pilgrim?
actress that I would simp for.
That's true. Me and Gable are in agreement.
In 06, I really had a issue with finding like the main character. Who is the main character
Yeah,
of the 06?
I
version?
think that's a fair critique
I'm gonna
because
go with
nobody's
Agnes.
talking about their abortion in 06.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even
Just
the
down to
drunk,
brass
like
tags.
in Margot Kidder, or in the first one, you understood Margot Kidder's character. She gets a call from her mom. She's not invited to the whatever the big fancy like ski trip or whatever European trip. So she's like sitting around getting drunk and being like pissy because of it. Like you get her character. This just has like a girl sitting around being pissy, getting drunk, right? We don't know how like a why.
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of depth to the characters in this
Nope.
one.
Where's the
I think there's a
story?
throwaway line about them not, or some other people going on a trip and her not being invited or something. There's a throwaway line in there somewhere about that.
Yeah, that does come up.
Oh,
I
yeah,
almost felt
Lacey
like-
Lacey Chabert.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Dead Punk. 1 million times she was great. Now she's in every Hallmark movie. Ooh.
Man, you guys know.
I just remember her from the Lost in Space movie,
Yeah, same.
Crazy.
which I think is him and what was it? Or her and Joey?
Yep.
Yeah. There
That
we
movie
go.
I think is underrated too. I rewatched that a few years ago, and it's just like a solid, fun sci-fi flick.
I agree. Lost in Space review coming
We
2024.
should do all the,
The whole
episodes, yeah, and then the movie. I guess aren't they still doing the new Lost in Space series?
The new
Isn't that
what?
still happening?
It was I think it just came like the third season just finally came back. It has like a
That's
weird
crazy.
release schedule.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody that watches that thing.
I watched the first season.
I started it. It was all right.
Yeah, I don't like
It was okay.
I don't like that Piper. What's her name? Piper Posey.
As Dr. Smith.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
I was okay with it at first, and then I don't know. I
She
stopped
did
caring
not
about the
grow
show.
on me.
Damn.
She did the opposite. She grew off.
Ungrew?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can tell we really don't want to get to this 2019 version.
Oh.
There's just not much to say. you
All right,
know?
Yucky.
I mean,
That's
Introduce
the-
us
that's
to
the thing.
2019.
is there not a lot to say? I don't want to rant or nothing.
You know, at the very end of this, we're ranking all the films. So
I mean,
there's only
easily.
3 of them. So it's
Like
not going to be that
one, 2,
interesting.
3. In
Yeah.
order.
2, 1, 3. I agree.
Are you gonna start pitching part 3, Yucky? You ready?
Okay, do you think this was actually a script that they repurposed?
Yes.
Like 100%.
Probably.
Like it has to
Probably.
be. It's
Yeah.
got nothing. Nothing. I didn't look up.
Even calling it, like, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for 2019, and it says it is the loose second remake, and that word "loose" may as what you don't. It's just doing a lot of heavy lifting, is all. You
yeah,
know?
like I was gonna check it. Like, is
Impossible.
Hawthorne the name
Very
of the
loose.
college and all the other ones?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the connecting tissue.
Well, she sends the text that says "pig kitty."
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah. They managed to
remember.
use cell phones in this one pretty good,
Yeah.
too, right? Right, Yucky?
I don't
Everything's
even
good.
remember. I
Everything
just
is
watched
good in
this
this
today.
movie.
Okay, I said I was gonna give this movie 1. It's not even a compliment. It's just something that the movie did that was pretty relevant in the first one. I can't remember, not really in the second one, but it's the idea that campus security doesn't take like girls' complaints seriously, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of it. That's like the one thing where I'm like, okay, they're kind of like,
They could have done something interesting with it, and they didn't.
Yeah, because I mean, there was a little commentary to that in the first one of like just a dude at the desk just kind of excusing away every like girl's disappearance of like, I'm sure they're just with a boyfriend, you know,
Then
or
John
whatever.
Saxon comes to the rescue.
Yeah, John Saxon's like, you're not taking these ladies' complaints seriously. I told you he's the superhero of horror movies.
This was definitely like a Blumhouse script that they had, and it felt like they were like, shit, we're going to lose the rights to Black Christmas, so let's shit out a movie that has nothing to do with anything about Black Christmas.
Wouldn't you be embarrassed if you were Jason like, Blumhouse is supposed to be the modern, like,
Bro,
horror factory, right?
Bad movies do not embarrass Jason Blum. Have you seen their output?
Yeah, for every good movie you've seen, there's like 7 bad ones.
Yeah, they just are making movies.
Oh,
it's almost Corman-esque, except without the charming budget.
Well, don't they have like a running thing with Hulu or something where they release like Blumhouse like hour-long movies?
And then I think they had a little deal with Amazon too. He's got deals all over the place, man.
Yeah, he's literally just blowing loads everywhere. He doesn't care what's happening.
Okay, I mean, like I've complained. I swear to God, I'm not going to use this word too much. I've complained about woke entertainment before, but I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, this was like once the movie started, it was every single scene.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a certain gender, then you are a certain thing in this movie, basically. Yeah. And like, I normally am the first one to go, Yucky, you're full of shit. That's not woke. But like, you can't dispute. And this is woke in the negative connotation of like, this movie's blatantly wearing its shit on its sleeves, which just gets annoying after a while, that every man's a piece of shit, that every man's a mansplainer, every woman. What I didn't like, that kind of bothered me about the movie, was that, you know, they're trying to do the whole like, women are powerful, yes, queen, we slay, but like the lead, she's weak through the whole thing.
Yeah,
like we're never like cheering her on because she's just afraid of the world. We're never really behind her.
Nope. Well, I think they tried to do that thing where, like, suffering from a past trauma, gives her the strength by the end of the movie. That's her arc.
I kind of got that, but I just wish we would have gotten a little bit more of a stronger pro tag who was just like, no, fuck this shit and fuck these guys. Like, these guys are pieces of shit. And you know, while I'm watching this, I kind of kept thinking this shit would have worked in an 80s movie, and I think if they cranked up the aesthetics, took itself a little less seriously, it would have been a better movie. Not a better Black Christmas remake, but it would have felt like there's some self-awareness that this is cheesy. And I think that's what most of it comes off. Most of it just comes off as cheesy and half-assed, when if they just played up and just treated it like a movie that maybe it thought it was trying to be, then maybe it would have worked.
Yeah, you were saying you didn't like how weak she was, but that's because her activist friend was the strong one, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, every scene with her is like how we're gonna get this teacher removed for just teaching only about male books written by men, or I mean, it really does start with her because she got there's a statue of the founder of Hawthorne College that she gets removed, right? It's like a big success of hers because you know, he was a slaveholder and stuff like that. And
I want stronger female. This is gonna sound cringe, but if I'm watching a movie, I want stronger female protagonists. Like, especially a horror movie, especially one where she is fighting the patriarchy. Like, be a fucking boss, bitch. Girl boss your way to the fucking sun. Kick some ass. Like, have everybody rooting for you. Because I don't know who the fuck is rooting for these characters when I'm watching this.
Yeah, because like what kicks off the whole, I don't know, the whole thing is, so this girl, like 3 years ago, it's their last year of college or whatever, right? And 3 years ago, she was raped.
Yeah.
And there is like some Christmas dance party for I don't know, the frat, like her frat people, her sorority, and I guess the, I don't know what they call it, the brother sorority, I don't know. And they do this little dance thing where they start to sing a Christmas song about how she was raped, and it was supposed to be like a big got you of like, we just spilled the beans. on how you guys do this to girls.
It's
I mean,
woman
even-
wish fulfillment.
Dude,
That's
that
all
I
it
mean,
is.
this even in this scene where they're like the girls of sorority Kappa, women.
But it's also
can't
like
say
what bothered
girls.
me about that scene was every guy in the audience, almost every guy was like, boo.
Yeah.
Like, no, that wouldn't happen. You'd see a lot of fucking shock, I'm sure. You know?
Yeah, because it was like a state. They were making a statement. It's like they weren't dressing up sexy to be sexy. They were making some statement about how like this is the only way you see women in these sexy Santa Claus like tight costumes or whatever.
Listen, when we say this movie
Dude.
makes, like, basically says all men, all white males are bad, like, I think it's literally every single one.
Dude, it is because
Even the
okay,
ones who aren't the evil ones.
well, because okay, there's a character in this who kind of becomes the main girl's boyfriend, and she's like he's black or something.
Yes.
And-
Very feminine.
So this fraternity is possessing all the white dudes with this like I don't know evil black goo. I mean, this is how fucking far from Black Christmas.
Yeah, you just have to. That I think that's another thing that irked me is the mental gymnastics you have to go through to get the plot. It's like the founder of the college was an ancient wizard, and when you moved his statue,
Nope.
then it awoken the power of his wizard,
Hold on,
and we
it
had to
goes
make.
it goes
Power
deeper than that. Carrie, how do you say his name? Carrie Ewers?
Carrie Lewis.
What's his name?
Carrie-
Carrie
Carrie
Ewell, the guy from
Ewers.
Princess
Yeah,
Bride
the
and
Princess
Saw.
Bride.
Carrie
Yeah.
Ewell.
Elvis.
So he's teaching a class, and he's like men saw the threat of the natural like world of like women, and we decided to like case everything in our man verse. It's like the belly versus the head or something like that. Emotion versus thinking. And when they said that the Hawthorne dude, the founder of the college, they said he felt the like the presence of like the feminine power. So he made a deal with Satan. I mean, it's just like what the
Based.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
one of the girls
Jesus.
said it. It's like an exposition line thrown away.
Which
I
is-
just
there's a
remember
ton of
him
fun.
going off about like they moved it and then we found out we could put these masks on and imbue ourselves with this supernatural. And I'm just thinking supernatural strength, mask, you become a statue and there's a warlock. Like, how about we just pick one or two of these?
Who's the werewolf?
You know what I mean?
don't
Yeah.
I don't think you guys are understanding this. So the historical bust or head figure,
Yeah.
statue or whatever
Yeah.
is literally oozing toxic masculinity, and it infects every male that
It's set off
gets
a
in its
frequency.
range.
Dude,
Yeah.
only the
Yeah.
white males though. That's what makes this movie kind of racist, is because when they destroy that boyfriend character, he gets possessed too by the end of the movie, right? And when they destroy the bust or whatever of Hawthorne, he wakes up. He like rubs it off and he's just like, I'm sorry, that wasn't even me. Everybody else is still evil. So it didn't really break a curse. All those white dudes were just evil.
Yeah, right. They were all just pieces of shit.
They're just
So like there is kind of this trend of like feminist horror, and I've seen a few of them within the last couple of years, and I would say like this is the most egregious and unwatchable of them. Like there's that movie Men, which is kind of just like man bad, but at least it has some really good body horror. There's one I talked about on my channel called Lucky, which is kind of a neat time loop movie, but it drops the ball at the end because it doesn't know how to end, and it just ends with men bad. But like this is just the worst out of all of the ones that I've seen.
This falls into like the Halloween 2018. It's feminist revenge horror.
Yeah.
They're like,
You know what though?
you enjoyed seeing us get murdered for like 40 years. We're gonna kick the shit out of the bad guy, and
Oh,
we're
the
going
Avengers
to.
scene at the end.
And
Yeah.
if it's a horror franchise that has like a popular scene, the girls are gonna be swapped for the killer. Like in the 2019 version, the girl gets to wrap the plastic around the guy's face.
Yeah.
Go.
I
get 'em.
think though that if they, number one, you take Black Christmas off the title. Number
Yes.
two, I think if you whittle down the plot, you can still keep in your toxic masculinity shit, blah blah blah. If you change the plot to just be they moved this statue and they kept it here, and there's just been a strange frequency emitting from it, and it's driving men crazy, I would be okay with that, because that sounds like a fucking crazy ass movie on its own.
You would get rid of the dark wizard shit.
I would get rid of the Dark Wizard, because it doesn't have to be that complicated. Like, the movie that you want to make is men being crazy and toxic, right? Like that was what they wanted to accomplish.
Yeah. Right.
So you don't have to jump through that many hoops. All you need is something to drive the dudes even crazier. And I think that would have been a better movie, more effective. You're not beating people over the head with your message. And I think you would have had a solid movie similar to something like Mom and Dad, or I don't know if you guys have seen Who Could Kill a Child. That's basically the plot of Who Could Kill a Child, is that there's a frequency happening on this island that's making kids into killers. And I think you could do that here.
Children of the Corn.
Yeah, but
it's moldy corn,
but less culty. But I think it's something that would have worked here,
but
and
we wouldn't have guys in cloaks.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I don't know. To me, it's all clunky. Like I always go back to, like, obviously agenda aside or whatever, like these themes and things could be presented correctly or presented in a interesting way, but every writer / director or whatever, they just manage, they don't have the skill required to fulfill it. It's like, hey, all right, let's talk about toxic masculinity. Let's make all the guys bad, right? And it's like, okay, well, then who's the killer? Oh wait, I got it. All men are the killers.
All the guys.
All of them. Literally all of them are. And I'm going, that's a little like, again, it's all clunkiness. And it's like, come on, guys, realize what themes are and realize how to put nuance into your film.
Well, yeah, because there's even like a girl who, it's like in the beginning of the movie, the main character interrupts her about to be raped or assaulted or whatever. And then in the end of the movie, she's like on their side, and she's like women just need to know their place. Wasn't the world just so much better before then? I mean, it was so heavy-handed.
Yeah. Dead Punk brings up they did stuff like that with The Cell and The Signal. I don't know if you guys have seen The Signal. That's another good movie where there's
Pontypool,
a signal happening.
too.
Yeah, and it's just driving people crazy.
Crazy.
I like Pontypool. I need to rewatch that one.
Yeah, because this is one of those, like, I call this like a Twitter movie. It tries
It feels that way.
It tries to make really big epic thing, like when they did the little dance calling out frat boy rape culture. Like, it gets posted on the internet, and she's like, it's on the internet. We called them out, and now there's people harassing us.
It went viral, guys. It got like 50,000 watches.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. And there's like a commentary about frat hazing. So weird, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, what was the actual like commentary though? Other than like, oh, if you haze people, it'll indoctrinate you into toxic masculinity.
I actually had to write this down. Drawing out the true alpha.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a theme. It's just crazy because, like, I definitely think, I mean, horror movies going back, there are some that you could definitely say have like some feminist undertones or feminist messaging, but it's buck wild to be so incredibly blatant enough to just make a bad movie. Like,
yeah,
I mean, maybe that is because I heard The Stepford Wives was very poorly received by feminists, right?
Yeah.
Because it thinks it's making this like political statement, but it's really just showing like women just like looking at what men do and being like, we should make a club too. Like, it doesn't give them any sort of
no satisfaction.
So yeah, maybe movies, but I mean they just like bury they don't like come out and say anything against these. They're just like, shh, we failed at that one.
I briefly mentioned this during the 06 talk, but like 2019 is, I don't know, it's a low budget film. I understand this.
5 million.
But it's so boring looking.
Yeah.
That it blows my mind because I went from 06 to watching the 2019 one.
Dude.
It baffles me how bad the 2019 one looks. Everything is muddy. Everything is just poorly shot. Everything is framed
It has
weirdly.
no style.
Yeah.
Like one of the
It's
things that's
it's
interesting
orange.
about 06 is that director has this distinct look. But in Black Christmas, there's a lot of these like kind of gross looking, muddy red and greens that are almost kind of brownish, if that makes sense. And it kind of makes me feel uneasy. Like it feels gross. There's a few movies that make me feel gross, and Black Christmas is one of them because of just the lighting stuff that it does. So it's weird to take. Also, this 2016 has nothing to do with Christmas.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like flat out.
You can
It's
take
just
the
winter.
Christmas part out of
It's
it,
just
and
winter.
it doesn't matter. You can take the winter
Yeah.
part out of it, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah,
like-
I think there's a Christmas party at the beginning. I think.
Well, that could literally be any party, and it's like, well, this is what it doesn't understand. So these guys want to get rid of all the women, right? Why would they wait for winter break where almost all the women are gone anyways, and they pick a select few to kill? How would they have
Because
known who they picked would still be there?
Those were the women that were making changes at the college, and they were the non-compliant women.
Yeah, but who says they would have been at the campus during winter break?
I mean, that's true.
Well, they were.
Well,
So-
they were. Yeah, you're
How's
right.
that
They had a
grab ya?
list. They had a list of girls that were like, ooh, you're trying to ruin the men's world.
Yeah.
It just said list of girl bosses.
But yeah, like Black Christmas and the 06 one, I felt like maybe not at all times, but I felt like they were lit by the Christmas lights. Like they had the Christmas lights had a effect on the atmosphere. In 2019, like I remember just you see some Christmas lights on the windowsill, and the room is orange or whatever.
I knew it was gonna be bad when the first scene in 2019 film was like a bunch of girls like partying or what, drinking or whatever in that one room, and it really looked like they were in like a normal living room. You're like, okay.
The first line of dialogue is, "Why aren't you here at the Secret Santa? Basically, I got you a vibrator."
Yeah, I bought you a dildo. You're gonna love it.
In the second scene is, "Hey, do you have a Diva cup?" I had to look what that was.
It's a menstrual cup for the guys.
I thought it was the pee cup. Like there's some of them called Go Girls that like a girl can like pee standing up,
Nope, those are a menstrual cup.
No, it was a Diva cup or whatever. And I'm just like, man, that's when I was like, oh god, it's gonna be every scene. Every scene is gonna have some sort of statement of girl power or
it had to do all that so it could set up its completely ridiculous payoff.
Dude,
Yeah. Which
Dude,
comes out of nowhere, by the way, because none of this is this supernatural
Nothing happens
element.
in the movie until the last 20 minutes
20
or half
minutes.
an hour or so.
But nothing supernatural, like not
Yeah,
even like an occurrence of supernatural happens until they're like, oh, by the way, this thing oozes black stuff.
Yeah.
I've been getting mean DMs ever since we did that mean thing at the fraternity house or
oh, shit.
whatever.
It's like, oh shit.
But dude, the ending was crazy. Earlier, Gable, you said the Avengers Endgame. It was
Yes.
crazy when it was like when all was lost. The team of
sisterhood.
sorority house chicks show up.
And they even had the
yeah.
cringy
Yes.
line too.
What
You're
was
like,
the cringy
oh,
line?
it was my girls have my back or some shit like that.
True.
You're like, because they're like ants. Remember, that's the payoff for ants, where they're stronger
Yeah, there's this
together as a
metaphor of
group.
ants.
Oh,
I'm like, is this communism?
I thought you meant the movie Ants.
Well, no, that far superior movie to this, but no, there's a weird clunky dialogue where the girl asks like three questions, like what three animals you would be, and like one of the girls answers ant because they're like a colony where they're stronger together, right? So like, oh, okay, that's a theme, clunkily done, but there's your theme, and it sort of pays off at the end when all the girls come rushing in this very Avenger-esque scene, all wielding like various weapons to beat down these other, white males that are vastly stronger than them. But I guess because they're brainwashed or whatever, like they're
got
weaker than
superpowers.
normal.
Yeah, they do. They have super strength that we don't even see as super strength, right? Because wasn't that the
Yes.
thing he said? He's like, oh, they're imbued with this warlock's superhuman strength. But then we never see them commit acts of strength. We don't
Well,
see them
but
bend any
literally-
bars or rip a phone book in half.
But
But when the
literally
girl-
every female beats every male in every fight scene. Like
No,
what
but they're-
strength?
there is like one moment where the super strength starts to like overpower the girls, and that's when I realized I was like, oh shit, this isn't Avengers Endgame. This is the last episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 7, where
Oh, as they
Buffy
get
gets
stronger,
stricken
yeah.
down and she starts looking around at the other reborn Slayers getting taken out by vampires. It's the same thing. I was like, this is Buffy. This movie is a Buffy episode.
I blame Buffy for every bad thing in feminist movie TV today.
I mean, this has been a long time coming. If you watch the original Maniac movie from 1981, right? Wasn't it
Yeah.
from 1981? I mean, go into
Around
the
there.
special features and you'll see like the protests by feminists where I mean, that was like the last straw. That's where like we're sick of women getting murdered for men's entertainment. And it's like after that, that's when killers became like supernatural, and there was the final girl for every movie. So, you know, they were always going to get, saved or whatever by the end.
Yeah. You know,
So-
I'm sort of with Hot Dog on this. If this was named anything other than Black Christmas and wasn't as clunky, it probably would have been interesting. But since it's neither of those,
Dude, we can't even talk about the
Crap.
murder scenes. This thing, it was PG-13.
Yeah.
there were no murder scenes. Everything happened off camera. Literally everything. Apparently they shot gore for it, but they
Really?
cut
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, they
Like,
shot
thought
it.
they were going to do an unrated.
The director girl was like, "No, I actually shot gore scenes because this was supposed to be an R-rated film, but they cut everything to make a PG-13." Because I'm like, oh, usually when they do that, why they usually do it because they need money. And
That's
this
got to
movie-
be the worst feeling as a director is you do your movie and then the producer like, yeah, we want to cut all that gore out that you were doing.
It's
Yeah.
kind of icky.
Yeah.
We think
The exact
we'd get
opposite of the
more,
06 one.
We'd sell more tickets if
well,
we
jokes
dropped
on
the
you
rating.
guys. This film was actually successful.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
mean, technically,
Technically.
it's considered a bomb, but it made 18 million against its
On a
5
5,
million.
yeah.
Yeah.
Technically,
So-
it made money.
Yeah, it did make,
I mean,
but it's a fail. It's a failure.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
I
in
don't-
another,
who
uh,
cares? It's not going to stop Blumhouse.
That's the
20
Blumhouse
years, there'll be
formula.
another
though.
Black Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm down. I want the black goo to come back
What if this
Dude.
ruined it?
That's what they hint at the post-credit scene
with a cat, right?
with a I think it was a mouse, right?
No.
Maybe it was a cat. No, I'm not even joking, Yucky. There's
Did you not watch the end credit scene?
no, he turned it off
Really?
as soon as he could.
No,
You
I think I
bitch.
actually did, because it was just the cat licking up the black
Yeah.
blood, right?
Okay.
But then it looks at the camera and goes, "I'll be back.
No, it's like
I'm coming for you,
toxic
sisters."
masculinity infected that cat. And made him
It just
talk.
starts to become a man, and then it
Yeah.
pees with the seat down and
A
pees
male
all over the
pussy.
seat. Yeah, it's crazy.
We
That would be a
got
better
one.
movie, is a cat that just pisses
Oh my
the
God,
seat,
right?
and makes them all
cat
angry.
Christmas.
Yeah, Kitty Christmas. Somebody make that comment. Well, I just AI generated. Never mind. I'll AI
I don't
generate
think
Kitty
we'll ever
Christmas
see
and the cat
another-
pees the seat.
We'll never see another Black Christmas, because I think just
That's
like
okay.
the activists
That's
in this
fine.
movie, this movie was meant to like destroy the foundations of good slasher horror movies, right? It was meant to kill it. Because I live in a pretty liberal state, and if I go to the library, this is the only version of Black Christmas you get is 2019.
Aw.
and and they're supposed to be the I don't know, what do you want to call it, the cultivators of visual and audio and literary
You
Oh,
know,
yeah, right,
this
Ridiculous.
Black Christmas remake also doesn't even have somebody named Billy.
I know.
There's almost literally
This is-
nothing.
why
that
would
hark-
you do that?
That
I
harkens
don't-
back to original Black Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think any of the characters or names are the same. That's why I was like, maybe Hawthorne College is the same. Maybe.
I mean, the bag scene. That's literally the only thing I remember. This is the bag scene, or maybe the very very long scene in the 2019 film where the woman is putting in her tampon like on. Like we're watching her like on in frame as she puts the. I guess I don't know if it's a tampon or if it's
What are you
there's
saying?
There's some like nerdy girl that like all she ever does is stop by that girl's room and asks for some sort of like feminine
wears
hygiene
tampons.
product.
Yeah, and then,
We just sound like a bunch of toxic males at this point.
the entire the whole scene doesn't
This
cut, and she's just there, like going through her pants, putting on her pad or tampon or whatever it is, and like it never cuts away. You're just like, what is this?
I mean, when we watch the other movies, like we feel for the female victims, right? We're concerned in the suspense scenes, right? Like,
Yeah, I never want the women to die. In this one, I did.
I just wanted
True.
anything to happen in this one. Anything.
Yeah, fair.
Important announcement. D Gulag, not just in the chat, but also is part of the fandom of the 2006 Black Christmas.
There are dozens of us.
We're a legion.
Maybe if there was a
Get
fan
used to it.
re-edit.
Fried chicken and
French fry. Maybe if there was a fan re-edit. I can get behind a
I'm
re-edit.
saying release the 2019 director's cut. That's what I'm saying.
There is no way that a fan edit could fix 2019. Just flat out no. It's just not enough there. You can't. Maybe with the gore, it'd be like 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long.
Then you find out it actually was never called Black Christmas. It was just called like the Black Goo something or another. And you're like, okay.
The hazing, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
You'll
is
never
probably
believe
what it
what
came
happens
through. They're like, hey,
after
what if? Because was this around the time? No, that was way before that. It was like when hazings were back in the news again.
No, that was like a long time ago.
Like
Yeah.
20 years ago. I know.
But I do remember I think 2017 was the year of all the crazy college protests, right?
Makes sense.
I think 2017. So of
Taking
course,
down
they're like,
Well, you had the statue movement thing. You know,
Yeah.
that was very much a time and place.
Oh,
You
I also
know?
found it kind of weird. There's a scene where the woman or the lead character is talking on the phone, and talking to the mom of Helena, and the Helena's last name is Rittenhouse. And I'm like, what? But apparently this came out a year before Kyle Rittenhouse, so I'm gonna say they predicted these things.
uh-oh. Predicted.
No one caught that except for me. Yeah. That's right.
No,
I
didn't.
caught it,
I
but
definitely
I didn't. It was.
You didn't put two
I
and two
didn't put
together.
I didn't put any weight behind it. I didn't think there's no way that.
Well, I had to
People
look
think
it up.
Rittenhouse was an op.
I go.
Yeah.
Was this done intentionally? But no. Come to find out, it was actually this movie was made before the shooting. So
Yeah, I'm sure if that would have happened after, one of the freaking frat guys would have been named Rittenhouse or whatever.
What's his
Or
name?
like
His name is
or
Kyle.
something.
Yeah, right. Which,
Fucking
to be
Kyle.
fair, is like a generic white guy name, usually like used in a problematic meme context. You know.
I'm surprised they didn't have a Chad.
Yeah, no Chad.
Right. I mean, at least they
Chad
threw in that
Thundercock.
like dawning of the alpha that really put a crown on this whole thing. It was
But there
terrible.
you go. Killer Goo, toxic masculinity movie. I mean,
Yeah.
Black Christmas.
So what's the-
Billy was the original toxic masculine person, right?
I guess.
Is that what we're trying to
I don't
say?
know.
Or are
I
we
don't
talking
know
about
about that.
mental disorders?
Because I mean, if you go by 2006, isn't Billy more of a victim anyway?
yes, he is.
Is he?
You know, yes, he 1,000 times is just full
Nature
of
versus nurture. Yucky.
just abused to the shadow realm, having to
Raped.
bang his mom.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
toxic masculinity right there.
That's my only fault of the 06. Is like, we don't need an origin, damn it. Like, that's not the point of these things. We need just a creepy, scary guy. We don't know what his next move's gonna be, and
But
there's
he
no
was
rhyme or reason to it.
creepy.
Just don't go upstairs and go to sleep.
I want origins for all my slashers.
Blech.
I need to know why they do the things that they do.
I mean, at least if you're giving me a second movie, I feel like I need an origin. You already got away once with the no motive. You can't do it every time. I'm just not going to allow it.
I like no motives. I think that's why the original Halloween was so cool. I think that's why the original Hills Have Eyes is so cool. The original.
I think
Christmas-
everything has no motive no more, and I think I want a motive now.
I would say everything has motive now. It's
want
like somehow deconstruction of the 70s was like no modem. Evil just exists. It's out there. It happens. And then deconstruction of the modern age is like, no, let's have like a sympathetic motive for every villain.
Well, next you're going to tell me you didn't like Rob Zombie's Halloween because they talked about how
I
Mike
hated
Myers
it.
grew
I
up.
didn't need I didn't need Michael Myers to be like, oh, he got yelled at by insane hillbillies, and that's what turned him into Myers.
I'll go skull fuck your brain or whatever the fuck he says.
Give me the curse of thorn any day.
I'll skull fuck the shit out of you.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, it was so. Ugh, every time I watch those movies, I'm like, jeez. Like, doesn't that ruins the thing that was special about it? It's like he's not supposed to have a motive. Evil just happens.
That's one of the things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's many things.
I say our next big review will be reviewing every single Halloween movie coming sometime.
Oh,
So 6-hour ice cream social Sunday.
Maybe not every movie, but maybe every timeline.
No, every cut is what Yucky's trying to say.
Every cut.
Coming soon. Hot dog can't wait.
I could wait.
I could wait.
Dead Punk says, by that logic, so is Freddy Krueger. I'm assuming in response to the Billy being a victim.
Well, I mean,
I would say okay. If,
no, he
if
was
we're gonna
a
play this
child
game,
murderer before
right?
He got burnt though. Like, he was
But
just evil.
also, I would say Leatherface is a victim.
yeah.
maybe I don't know.
He has no cognition. He can't. That's how he was
He
raised.
has cognition.
He's a special little guy. I mean, you
Nature
two got a
versus
lot in
nurture
common.
again.
I mean,
He suffered a ton of,
Emotional
damage.
he's a cannibal like all of them.
Alleged.
That's how he was raised, though.
You
That's right.
liberal bastards.
I mean, is there any killer who was not?
Yeah, I will say,
raised?
yep. D Gulag. Jason is a victim. He actually.
Jason is a victim.
Yeah, Jason
Yeah.
is a victim. He's got a nice like.
damage.
He was definitely emotional.
He watched
damage.
his mom die when he was naked in the woods as a grown-up baby or
Well,
whatever.
no, he got drowned.
He drowned.
Yeah, but then he's just
they
there?
Didn't pay any attention to him.
Can we?
You never paid any attention to him.
Can we get off of Black Christmas for a second to talk about
Absolutely.
Friday the 13th?
Absolutely.
People have been writing into the email and saying, "Hey, what do you guys think happened to Jason Voorhees?" Because he drowned.
I think he was always
His mother
Jason.
wreaked for vengeance, just went ham. But then
Yeah.
he was also alive and in the woods.
I like the crazy
He came out of the river.
in Friday the 13th part 2, the child psychologist character, she's like, he probably had no concept of death. And that always like stuck with me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, if his mom never taught him what death is, like Schrodinger's cat, right? Like, if you don't
doesn't
know what
exist.
death is, can you just live?
I'm not even joking here, but isn't one of the lines in that same one in part 2 something about he was too retarded to die or something? I think it's
was
around that same point. I could
think
swear to
put
God
it
it
more,
was
I
that.
think I put it more elegantly.
No, but I'm saying I think what I said is the quote.
No, she goes, I mean, what would he be now? Some sort of 6-foot frightened retard? Like, it's something like that. She's just like kind of proposing like what he could be like if he did not die that day. But before that, she mentions the whole thing about him not knowing what death is, and the death of his mother being the first time he experienced it. That's why that's the only movie where literally Jason is trying to resurrect his mother by bringing the victims' bodies to the head in like a weird shrine, right?
You know what I think it is? I think, and this is my fan theory, that Jason Voorhees is a victim of identity theft. That's just my theory. I think it's somebody else pretending to be Jason in the woods.
I think it might has legs. Yeah, it might.
Didn't we have that in Jason Goes to Hell?
We definitely have that in Jason Lives. What's part 5? With Roy.
New Beginning?
New beginning? Something. With
But-
enchiladas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Identity thefted again.
Damn enchiladas.
Jason is definitely a victim.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Dipone Gage says Pinhead isn't a victim. Neither is
No.
Chucky.
But Pinhead's also a
Right.
working man. Like, he
Sure.
wanted to
It's just
be a
his
horny
job.
demon and now he just works for the horniest demon in charge. See, Dead Punk's with me. She called him a retard.
Artard.
But he still chose it. He, just like the Doctor in Hellraiser 2. Like, he still chose to be a Cenobite. Like, you know.
Yeah, but now he has to go to 9 to 5 every day. He didn't
His
choose that
appetites
part.
were not enough.
He
Well,
doesn't even get weekends off, Yucky.
Well, I
He
think
said-
that's like a cool idea about Clive Barker's version of hell is that it is pretty much much more strict and regulated than even heaven. You know, because like, yeah, why would hell just be some free reign domain? Like, it's like, no, it's even stricter than heaven. It's hell. It's not fun, not even for the demons. It's regimented. The Order of the Gash, the Leviathan. Very boring.
There you go.
It's sad.
Who else is a victim?
Who? Chucky is definitely not a victim. He's pro-murder. He's very pro-murder.
Would you say Maniac is a victim? I mean, the guy's
No.
nuts.
Yeah, but he's just crazy. But I don't know. I don't think he's a victim. At least we don't see what causes his trauma.
Yeah, we don't
Do we?
see what causes his trauma. I'm sure it's
No,
something
he's just
his
a weirdo.
mother did. I'm sure it's just
Yeah.
like Psycho.
Yeah, probably.
Mental
Norman
illness.
Bates. Norman Bates is a victim?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he is just nuts.
Sometimes they all just go a little crazy sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he
I
just
don't
kind of lost
think
his nanners, huh?
I don't think Mother is even like what Mother was really like. Mother is his sick, twisted idea of what his mother was.
So you don't subscribe to the Psycho 4 timeline?
No, I don't think any incest actually happened. I think Norman was attracted to her. Well, in the first Psycho, it even says it. It's like Norman was attracted to her, so in his mind, she would in return be attracted to him.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
there
there's
was
that
no
line
action.
about that one detective who's like, Norman just wanted to bang his mother so bad, and she refused to put out.
That's a classic.
This is the most quotable line in Psycho.
Crazy.
I'm trying to think of any other horror.
Yeah, I'd have to have like a
victims.
list in front of me for some reason.
How about we do closing words on Black Christmas?
Obviously, the first one is the best one ever. It created American slasher films. It created the holiday.
Proto slasher.
See, this is literally what I just said at the beginning: is that no one can talk about this movie, and because that's all they have to say is that. Yucky's only proving my thesis.
No, you just got to give it its due, though. You got to give
Yeah, I
it.
said
It's
that.
like
Yeah.
it. It did the. I mean, because we could still say Giallo did this way before, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's POV in Giallo. There's breathing in Giallo.
People do be breathing.
They be breathing in Giallo. So, yeah.
That's one of my stand-up bits. Y'all notice how people in Jalo, they just be breathing.
but not for long.
Yeah, and then you got to go on the mic. You probably going to sound like this. And then everyone just blows up.
No. Hot dog, what are your thoughts about Black Christmas? Wrap it
In the entirety?
up. Yeah, just in general.
All of it. Your heart.
How do you feel?
It's fine. It's not the best Christmas horror, but it's solid. They're solid movies. I enjoy them, except for obviously 2019. Jesus, goes without saying. Yeah, I don't know. I rarely watch. Dude, it's got to be the second one first for me, only because it's so crazy and far out. I appreciate the first one. I appreciate Bob Clark's work, but goddamn. Part 2 is just so balls to the wall, and that's how I like my horror movies. Is just be crazy,
Balls
throw
deep?
me off. Yeah, just get nuts.
Yeah. I echo very similar statements. I think the second one is very, very fun to watch. Crazy. Like, you'd never know what the hell was going to happen as the plot progressed. I very appreciative of the first film. I think the proto slasher, as we like to say, definitely rings true. The scenes with the POV shots, camera work, all of that is very creepy and very cool. 2019 is a dumpster fire. That's all I got to say.
John Saxon being in a movie automatically gives it an additional 2 stars.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Worked for
that
My
means-
Mom is a Werewolf.
You give Porky's 7 stars.
I don't know. After this, I'm actually going to go through. I forgot Bob Clark even did Porky's. I'm like, oh, dude, I got to do it.
Did he do Porky's? I just
He
said
did,
that. I don't
yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This guy's a classic
he is somebody.
filmmaker.
Yeah, he is somebody. Like I think a lot of people look over how diverse his catalog was.
Dude.
You should watch Death Dream first, though.
I mean, just the fact that he made Black Christmas and Christmas Story, it just shows how it's like he can do, you know, 2 sides of the same coin or whatever, you know.
No, absolutely.
Freaking genius. I mean, the guy did Baby Geniuses.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
What the? He's like, in the last film I wish to make before my death, Baby Geniuses.
I need a car. You know?
Yeah, right.
What do you got for me? Dude, all we got is baby. I'll take it.
He did both Baby Geniuses. Holy shit. He was like, this is my franchise. I won't let any of you pieces of shit touch this.
I'm sure he had grandkids. Like every actor director always the same thing. Whenever they have kids or grandkids, they always soften up and like I've been making these other films for so long that I want to make films I can enjoy with them. It's like you narcissist, you make your family watch your movies with you.
You say soft and like it's a bad thing. I think he just becomes more diverse and eclectic as he gets older.
And it's probably the productions are lower key. Like you don't have the hassle of the Hollywood bullshit. You can just go and make your movie probably with these small studios or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Everybody,
who are really quick. We've talked about this before, and I've asked you guys this question several times, both in the private chat on stream. But you guys don't want to answer me. I'm gonna put you guys on blast here. But who are the Baby Geniuses movies for exactly?
Emotional damage.
Who's the target audience? Other babies? They wouldn't understand. Baby Geniuses?
Family.
That's a small market.
It's family
it's
film.
for like 4-year-olds or whatever. You know,
That's
It's
a
a
niche of a niche.
it's a place for single moms to like bring their kid in during a weekday afternoon. You know?
Hey, look, that's like you, except you're dumber than this kid. You're fucking stupid compared to these guys. These are smart ones.
Yeah, do you
You're
think
like
it's actually like conditioning to get kids into STEM?
Maybe.
It's
They should
it's
make a
much
movie
deeper than
about
we're giving
you.
it credit for.
Make a movie about you called Baby Dummies. Like, I just don't know what else you'd say to your kid when you're watching this. These kids are like you, but better. That's crazy.
This is what you could be if you weren't so dumb.
Yeah, if only.
So were you saying that you hadn't seen Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things?
I never have.
That's
Gable?
What Gable?
No, I don't think I have.
That's a great one. I'm sure Tubi has it. Everybody
Oh,
go
it's
watch
gotta.
Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Tubi has
Very-
everything.
Well, I'm
very
planning on
simple,
watching.
very, like indie.
I'm planning on watching Bob Clark Adjacent and watching the Christmas Story sequel, not the other Christmas Story sequels, but the newest one, A Christmas Story.
You'll
Really?
shoot your eye out, kid.
And then he finally
game.
shoots his eye out.
Yeah, eye patch.
He comes back with an eye patch. That would be sick if they just went dark and gritty with it. They had like Robert Rodriguez direct the Christmas Story sequel.
Oh God.
I shot
They're like
my eye
old,
out with the Red
old
Ryder.
Rodriguez though, right? Like
Yeah,
not like new,
yeah.
like Spy
Not
Kid.
Shark Boy and Larva Girl.
Yeah,
The
Larva
girl who
Girl.
turns into a larva. Oh, that was a good show,
Oh.
guys. What do you think?
That's not bad. What
We
is
did good.
okay? What is your definitive Christmas movie? If this is
Horror or
it.
just my Christmas
yeah,
movie?
horror, a definitive
Scrooged.
Christmas horror.
Scrooged.
You'd call
I call it
Scrooged a horror
100%. 100%. Its horror scenes are so effective that it robs the movie of the dignity it deserves to not call it a Christmas horror.
It's
and
not even
the
horror,
comedy
though.
is effective. Dude, watch that movie, and I'm telling you, it's
dude,
100% a Christmas horror movie.
I can't watch that movie. I cry too hard at the
You
end.
deserve. I wish
can't
you would
do
cry
it.
more. I wish you'd watch it all the time then.
Oh,
Why do you cry during that movie?
Well, Niagara Falls, freaky,
come on.
freaky angel.
Dude, it's just
There's the whole thing at the end about like I feel it. We can feel it too. You
True.
can feel it. And that's so.
yeah.
I kind of wish you could edit out the like Tiny Tim subplot of that movie. But still, a great movie. But
That movie just hits hard. It's dark. It's legit funny. It's legit scary. It still creeps me out to this
I
day.
guess I can see the horror comedy angle. I guess.
I would say I would go with Gremlins, but
Oh shit. I mean, I always got to go with Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's a dude dressed as Santa,
that's fair.
and like they can't replicate that, right? Like they did the guy dressed as a killer Santa one time, and everything else is a pale imitation.
Yeah, they really couldn't figure out what to do, huh?
Nope.
I mean,
Like they didn't. They
nobody
thought they were
has.
going to bring Ricky back again.
Yeah,
And then that
like
was
this-
Bill Moseley at his worst. Like you give Bill Moseley like a very animated guy who can be fun and crazy, and you're just like, hey, just be sleepy for this movie.
Oh, he's 3. He's Ricky in 3.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
And he's got a brain jar
Yeah,
hat.
I've seen the brain
Yeah,
jar.
it's-
That's why I've just never even put it in. I'm like this. does
Five's
not
fun
seem-
I stand 5.
Is
Like
it
this-
which one's the toy one?
5.
Is that 5? Okay,
That's
yeah.
where Mickey Rooney, who comes
Yes.
into the series that he had just previously talked shit about and tried to get banned, he appears.
Like what's the killer robot Santa one that just came out? Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Bloody Christmas by Joe
Like-
Bagos.
That is the first time I've been at least a little interested in like the killer Santa, just because it sounds like, I don't know, class of 1999 or something. Sounds crazy. Because I tried to watch that old. Remember that one that people thought was going to be a remake called Silent Night?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is like a
I don't
a
think
remake.
it's not like a real remake though, right?
It's more of a remake than
Black
Black
But there's
Christmas.
no, but there's no like money. You know what I mean? It's not.
What do you mean
It's
money?
not like financially actually tied to the trademark.
No, it is.
Or, I don't
It
think
is.
it is.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm
I
pretty
don't think
sure.
it is.
How much money do you
know.
want to put down?
I don't know. I will
shit.
put
We're
down
betting.
5 doll hairs.
All right, let's see. Silent Night.
I said doll hairs and not dollars.
Who will survive? Stay tuned while Google.
I
gives
mean,
us
it
the
says flat out remake. It says it's a remake of the 1984 film.
Who says that? The computer?
Wikipedia. Yeah, my computer. What's
Who are
wrong
the
with you, Grandpa?
producers? Who are the producers of the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night?
Who owns the copy, the trademark copyright? That's all that matters.
Sant or
The
Claus.
Gulag says Christmas Evil is a decent one too.
Christmas Evil's good too. I like that one.
I didn't like it when I first saw it, but I'm gonna give it a rewatch because everybody seems to like it, so I must be wrong.
It's nice.
He's
I'm-
yeah.
Oh, caving under peer pressure
what's
here,
another?
like-
Deadly Games is a good one. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's the one that's from France, and it's like Die Hard meets Home Alone
That
with
I
a
didn't
Killer
like that
Santa.
one.
Really?
No, isn't that
I'm
called
surprised.
Operation?
There's a few different names. Dial Code Santa Claus or
Yeah.
something. Beta Noel. Yeah, there's a bunch of yeah. All that wacky French
It was too
language.
Frenchy for me.
I'm looking up who these producers are, by the way, before we.
Oh no, I am home alone.
Oh, I am
Look,
calling
Blair.
Santa Claus.
There are criminals trying to break into my house. Oh no.
Oh, there's a lot of producers on this. I don't know.
It's always a
dude.
good
This
sign.
this is like a grocery list of producers, dude. Hold on.
That's always a
We'll
good
have to
sign.
get back to everybody after the holidays and we'll
Yeah,
let
speaking of
everybody
which,
know.
we won't be here next week because it'll be Christmas.
Really, the day of?
I think so.
Oh, you
Wait,
you
let's
guys have
look
something to
this
do on Christmas?
Yeah, family like want to hang out,
Hmm.
do stuff.
Oh,
You know,
I mean, I'm sure that's cool.
wish I knew what that felt like.
I didn't want to talk about it. I just assumed we were streaming.
No, but I think we're streaming I think even the Sunday after that is New Year's Day,
Yeah.
which I've been informed that I must show up to. So
We'll
Is that
figure
going to
it
be a 24-hour stream or something? Are we going to do something crazy?
no, not at all.
out.
You guys have very
Jeez.
high expectations of this show.
I don't know.
We don't have a topic yet.
I just got nothing to do, guys.
I can give you the channel. You could host 24-hour Yucky pirate radio.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Might do
Live your
that.
dream.
I might
of
ring in
being
the
a
new
Jackie.
year with everybody.
Oh,
Dude, I would only allow it if you just got fucking shit-faced.
stupid plot. Yeah.
Yeah, just 4 Loco cans all over the floor.
I don't really drink.
I know, but you'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Be a lot cooler if you
Yeah.
did.
Just let the peer pressure happen, Yucky.
So, anyways, this was another great show. I'm one of your hosts, Full Custom Hot Dog. You can follow me on Twitter. It's Full Custom Hot Dog.
I'm an
Without
even
the
better
last
one
O.
of your hosts. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
It's okay. It's okay.
You can get me at You can get me at Yucky Gum Comics on Twitter.
I am also on Twitter at Pennyshot.
So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I guess we'll be back eventually. I'll post, I found out I can do community posts, so I guess I should probably start doing that. I forget I can do that because I didn't let baby channels like me do it, but now we can. So
now you have the power.
I'll try to use that more often to communicate what the hell we're doing. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and until next time.
Everybody have.
The first European to step foot on Lizard Island was Captain James Cook. He'd come ashore with his crew to climb the island's highest point in hopes of spotting a passage out of the shallow waters of the Great Barrier. Escape of a different sort. First off, let's go fishing.
We all know what marlin fishing looks like from above the water, the boats, the tackle, and finally, the strike. But have you ever wondered what goes on below the